Welcome to Saturday, March 9th. It's Local Swell Tracker. Thanks for being here. This is what it looked like last Saturday, March 2nd. These two systems whipped us up to, near 15. There were some big ones outside of Sunset backyards. It was underestimated by these Wave Watch 3s. And, that guy faded out. Then we had a little something this week from this guy. And that brought us up to 5 to 7, let's say. And the thing is, thanks to the ridge over the islands, proximity of the current storm, and the high moving off to the east, we've had light and variable winds with southerly flows and perfect morning conditions, of course, with the afternoon sea breezes. We are now in the middle of an approaching front that's just west of Kauai. I'll get into that, but our winds are now southwest, and conditions are not as good. But this is the storm that brought us in our waves this week. Now, this guy, take a look at this captured fetch. This storm right here moves close to us, nosing to within 500 miles. A captured fetch, meaning the fetch on its southwest flank moves in the same direction, pointing towards us as the center of the low, allowing the seas to build greater than otherwise. This guy will be bringing us in 10 to 12, maybe near 15 feet on the outer reefs on Sunday afternoon. This is also the cause of our weather. This is the system that has the trailing front moving down the island chain. It is expected to stall. Okay, so here we are today, Saturday the 9th. Here is another view of the current model situation. This guy's really close to us. The period spectrum is going to be broad. The waves are going to be stormed out with northwesterly winds on Sunday when that guy hits. Look how close he gets. The jet stream pinches off here, allowing us an eddy to spin up here, bringing us in some more waves from that same source, but on the northwest flank on Monday, easily 10 feet and completely stormed out with northerly winds post-frontal passage. We have another system coming up for early next week, Tuesday, that'll be bringing us in some waves from the northwest. At about the same time, this nearby system causing havoc on our waves and weather. We have a beautiful big storm off the Kuril Islands here between Kamchatka and North Japan. That'll be bringing us in some waves on Wednesday to about 4 to 6 plus, and these will be mixing in with the northerly angled swell. So normally this thing would be a well sorted out west-northwest swell, but it is going to be crossed up. And the winds are expected to have a north tilt all week, a stalling in the current trough near the islands. Taking a look at the current rainfall, you can see that low pressure sweeping up the winds from the southwest, and a lot of rain associated and unstable weather patterns coming from that front. You can see mostly it's going to be Kauai, Oahu, and Maui, and then at the end of towards next week, the Big Island will see some of it. Again, this puppy is lasting a long time, and right now we're relatively dry. As these animations reload, you can see we're in the funky southwest wind pattern, and here comes the weather associated with the front, especially Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Get your umbrellas. Okay, let's go down under, take a look at last weekend's hindcast models, thanks to StormSurf. We have a fetch hugging the east coast of New Zealand, southeast down here. And we've been having background swell. All in all, the jet has been rather zonal with a few exceptions, but all in all, just small, fun, get wet kind of swells. There's a big storm coming. But as far as last week, you got a minor fetch here. Tries to point up our way. Another one. And we have a better shot here on the models from last Tuesday, Wednesday. And again, that takes about a week to get here, but that one's promising to be near 3 feet at the top moments of this upcoming week around the 13th. That should last at least through Thursday. And then we quiet down, a very west to easterly flow. And now let's bring you into the current date, Saturday the 9th. The storms are starting to show up down there, sending off some waves to Chile, but they are not pointing up our way. There's still a lot of blues on the east coast of New Zealand, and most of these are out of our swell window. However, you see that guy? Now, Friday the 15th, we see a giant storm with hurricane force winds way down there by the Ross Ice Shelf. This guy, even though he's moving zonally, is big enough, and models are hinting that around the 22nd, 23rd, we'll see 22nd forerunners, and we should be seeing 2 to 3 plus out of that guy. And we're going to keep an eye on him. but that's the biggest storm we've seen since last season. As far as the jet stream goes, you could see all the troughiness over the islands. That is going to hover. That's keeping the winds funky, the weather funky. And there's the new high pressures moving in, the blues here moving into the scene, bouncing the jet up and over towards the Aleutians. Down under, overall zonal. This equatorial bound float of the jet stream is out of our swell window, and the jet does shut down in the future. Let's take a look at the surface charts. There is the low pressure bringing us in some big ones for tomorrow. There's its associated front hitting Kauai now and moving down the island chain through the weekend, destabilizing the weather. The high's been pushed way off here to the east. Here comes the new high here. There's that big low off by Kamchatka that'll send us in some long period stuff Wednesday, Thursday. And all in all, it's a very interesting kind of complex scenario. The upper regions, you can see that spinner from the surface all the way up to 20,000 feet up. It's a pretty good storm with storm force winds of 50-plus knots. And waves are going to be big and stormy on Sunday, Monday, and even Tuesday. We're going to drill down, tell you highs will be about upper 70s, 80, lows a cold 67 degrees. Plenty of waves on tap. There's a beautiful picture of the effect of that storm's clouds in the front. We are looking at poor weather for a while, and look at all the water off of the west coast of Kauai right now. We'll be seeing that Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Northerly winds are sticking around. Okay, that is the update. Have a great weekend, and we'll be back next weekend with your local swell tracker.